Hi, my name is Sarah Lozier, and my topic was working with Arab and Muslim students. Here are some key insights from Chapter 14 of Jean Moule's text. Understanding cultural competence. Cultural competence means more than just being aware of different ethnicities or religions. It involves understanding how these backgrounds shape students' experiences in the classroom. When working with Arab and Muslim students, it's especially important to recognize how cultural, religious, and linguistic factors intersect. This presentation focuses on Arab and Muslim students because they are often misunderstood in American classrooms. Many teachers may be unfamiliar with the diversity within these groups or the specific challenges they face, such as dealing with stereotypes or balancing their cultural practices with school expectations. Teachers play a key role in creating a welcoming, inclusive environment. By understanding students' backgrounds, we can help them feel more comfortable and supported, which in turn promotes their academic success. Some key characteristics from this chapter are religion and identity, common stereotypes, family and community values, and cultural differences in communication. So for many Muslim students, Islam is deeply intertwined with their sense of self. Schools that respect this identity by recognizing religious practices like prayer times or dietary restrictions create a more inclusive atmosphere. Chapter 14 points out that many Arab and Muslim students face harmful stereotypes, particularly in the post 9/11 world. It's important that students dispel these stereotypes and ensure that classrooms are safe spaces where students don't feel marginalized. Moule explains that family plays a central role in the lives of Arab and Muslim students. Understanding the emphasis on family and community values can help teachers better connect with these students and their parents as well. And cultural differences in communication are also highlighted in Chapter 14. So, for example, Arab students might communicate indirectly or use nonverbal cues that are different from what American teachers expect. Being aware of these differences can prevent misunderstandings. Common challenges in school are discrimination, stereotypes and misconceptions, religious accommodations, and language barriers. So Chapter 14 details how students may be stereotyped as terrorists or treated with suspicion, which can severely impact their self-esteem and academic performance. The chapter also discusses how media portrays of Arabs and Muslims are often harmful stereotypes, which students then encounter in their peer interactions. As educators, it's important to actively counter these images by educating students about diversity within the Arab and Muslim communities. Also, schools may overlook religious practices like prayer or fasting during Ramadan. These students might feel excluded or pressured to conform to school routines that conflict with their beliefs. Simple accommodations, such as providing a quiet space for prayer, can help. Another challenge is the language barrier for many Arab students. As English learners, they might struggle academically, and this is compounded if schools don't provide adequate support or bilingual education options. Classroom practices that offer support, building an inclusive environment, recognizing and respecting religious practices, language support, family engagement. Moule emphasizes the importance of creating a classroom environment that doesn't just tolerate but actively celebrates diversity. One way to do this is by integrating Arab and Muslim cultures into the curriculum, not just during special occasions, but as part of regular lessons. Being aware of religious practices is crucial for Muslim students. For example, during Ramadan, fasting can make students feel more tired or less focused, so teachers should avoid high-stake assessments during this time. Accommodating for prayer times by offering students a quiet space to pray is another way to show respect. Many Arab students are English learners, and this presents unique challenges. Providing resources in both English and their home language when possible helps them grasp content more effectively. Chapter 14 also stresses the importance of involving families in the educational process. Since family is highly valued in Arab and Muslim cultures, teachers should try to seek and build strong connections with the parents. This might mean offering meetings in their home language or ensuring that communication is culturally sensitive and respectful. Personal experiences. I wanted to share my close friend's story, so I just wanted to point out a few things that she faced discrimination, there were language barriers and responsibility, and it was also an emotional impact on her. So she came to the U.S. in 6th grade, and her story highlights the real challenges that many Arab and Muslim students face in American schools. She's dealt with harmful stereotypes from her peers. They would tell her that Muslim people smell, and even accused her father of being involved in 9/11. She was called a terrorist multiple times, which, as you can imagine, made her feel incredibly isolated and fearful. Her parents couldn't speak English, so she had to be the one to take the responsibility of navigating school on her own. She didn't just have to learn a new language at such a young age, but she also had to translate and advocate for herself, which added extra pressure at such a young age, inside and outside of school. These experiences deeply impacted her confidence and sense of belonging at the time. She didn't receive the support she needed from teachers or the school. Her story emphasizes the importance of teachers actively supporting students who face similar challenges. So, in conclusion, understanding the backgrounds and experiences of Arab and Muslim students is vital for creating an inclusive classroom, which we all aim to have. As we have discussed, cultural competence goes beyond awareness. It requires actually taking action and reflection in our teaching practices. By challenging stereotypes and promoting respectful dialogue, we can empower our students. This helps them feel valued and recognized in the classroom, which can enhance their overall educational experience. I encourage each of you to consider specific action steps, integrate diverse perspectives into your curriculum, recognize and respect cultural and religious practices, and provide language support for English learners. Encourage your students to share their stories and create an environment where everyone feels safe and included. Lastly, let's remember our role as advocates for our students. We have the responsibility to foster a school culture that values diversity and inclusion, ensuring that every student feels they belong.